I realized that I had to interview these ladies and I had no idea where to start. And I obviously, guys, you know, Dr. Google, I googled, but I just couldn't find anything easy enough. I couldn't find anything that was helpful. Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new to the family, welcome. My name is Puseletso and I'm a mother of two, a 3-year-old and a 3 months today. And somebody asked me, I'm just going to do a video. So this video, as you can see from the title, is just 10 questions to ask when you're interviewing a nanny. The questions that I'm gonna actually ask, or the questions that I'll be going through, are applicable for both live-out nannies and live-in nannies. I went through an agency, so I'll do a part 2 of this video where I tell you guys how agencies work, because I had never used an agency before. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I realized that I had to interview these ladies and I had no idea where to start. And I obviously, guys, you know, Dr. Google, I googled, but I just couldn't find anything easy enough. I couldn't find anything that was helpful. So I asked a friend of mine who she had gone through the agency process and she had interviewed quite a few people, and she was like, oh, these are the questions that I asked, so just say them to me. And I was like, hell, if that helped me, I'm sure it will help a mom out there. So these are questions on what to ask, and not just what questions to ask, but why should you ask these questions. At the end of the video, or if you are interested in using these questions, I will list them down below in the description bar below, and then check out my part 2 of the video, how it works with using an agency. Obviously this is a specific agency that I use, so I don't know if this goes with all agencies. This was the first agency that I used. So if you are interested, please check out part 2. But yeah, I hope you guys are interested in this one. This is from my experience. I am not in recruitment at all, but I really found these questions helpful. Remember, I'm going to be asking the questions and telling you guys why, or what I looked for when a person was answering these questions. Sorry if I'm speaking fast, is because I tried to run to the bedroom. Nanny is sleeping while she was with auntie, so I'm trying to record this as fast as possible before she wakes up, because Mugele does not like sleeping. Cool. So when the person arrives, obviously you're gonna greet them, you're gonna be nice, and the first question I ask is, tell me about yourself. The reason why you want to ask this is you kind of want to suss out what their family situation is. So if you are going to be getting a nanny that is that has children, obviously you need to be aware that, one, their children might fall sick, so you need to, at work, they need to allow you that obviously if the nanny can't come and her children are sick, that you need to have plan B. Either you're gonna need to take time off from work, or maybe you're gonna find preschool where you can put your child for a day. I don't know, but the reason why that question is so helpful is you almost kind of prepare for not disasters, but you kind of preparing yourself, right? So if they have kids, it means that there might be situations. If they don't have kids, definitely it's much easier. With most live-out nannies, then obviously with the lockdown happening, we had to re-interview people, and in most cases, the ladies that don't have families or their children are like back in Zim, those are the ones that can live in, and usually their kids are also a bit older. So that's just something that you need to keep in mind. Sometimes a nanny is married, so what they can do is live with you during the week, and if they have a husband, then it means that weekends they have to be at home. Obviously those are things that you need to negotiate with the person, but that's why you want to ask this question, tell me a bit about yourself, tell me a bit about your family, and also you're trying to, I guess, also how they speak in terms of English or whatever language you want your nanny to be speaking, because your child is going to pick up on how that person speaks. So that's also another thing that you want to keep in mind. Next question is, why are you looking for a job? And in this, you want to see one, was it usually most of the cases the family is relocating, right? But some people, you want to see how they answer and how they speak about their previous employer. So if a person is like, oh, I really didn't like the people that I worked for, the 1 2 3, that for me shows you flags, right? Because then potentially that's how they could talk about you if they decide to work for you with somebody else. And it somewhat also shows that they don't take responsibility in maybe how they were, and they're just looking at it's always somebody's fault. So that's one. Then obviously another is this person really just doing this for money? You can tell, I think, with most people if they actually love children, or it was just like, oh ish, this is what I was doing, I was working here and here, and then I just decided I'm going to be a nanny, for instance. That's an answer that a person can give you. So that's why you ask, why is it that you are looking for a job? This one, so the next question you're going to ask is, tell me about your experience. And I need to say that this will be in my part 2. The agency will give you CVs, so you'll know this person's experience. It will list that she worked for so and so family from this year to this year, but doesn't list in detail what that person did, right? So the reason why you ask this, obviously your child needs are going to be different. If you have a newborn is more demanding. If you have an older child, maybe 3 4 or maybe 2, their needs are also different. What you want and what you're looking for in this question is whether this person has actually done what she has said she's done. So if on the CV it says that she looked after a newborn, you need to ask them, from the time that you arrived in the morning till you knocked off, please give me in detail what it is that you did. Another thing is, I was also looking for someone that's going to be a nanny, but that's also going to clean the house, right? So then obviously they need to be able to manage their responsibilities. The reason why you also ask this question is you don't want to get someone who is only concerned about cleaning, right? My priority is Anea, so I don't mind coming home to a dirty house as long as my child is happy. But I need to know that you know what newborns are like, and I need to be able to trust that you know how to work with newborns. So this person will say, when I arrive in the morning, maybe an example, the mom would give me the baby. What I do is the mom would, because obviously if a child is breastfeeding, that will be different. If they have to do the bottle, that's different. If they have to wash the bottles, that's also different. There's so much, but you want this person to give you in detail what it is that they did from when they arrive, and obviously no day will be different. Then from there you can kind of pick up if this person is just talking or if genuinely they looked after a newborn. Then next question is, how did you balance looking after a baby and cleaning the house? Right now, this is if you are looking for someone like me, someone to clean the house and someone to also look after the baby. Don't assume that when you get someone they're going to look after or they're going to clean as well. And this is something that you'll state to the agency, right? And the reason you ask this is because you want to suss out that this person knows that priority is number 1, the baby, right? So a lot of the times people can get away with maybe putting the baby on the back and cleaning, but that also can be a problem because it means that your baby is always on the person's back because their concern is cleaning, right? I want somebody that's going to stimulate my child, especially if it's a baby. If I have a monitor, I want you to be looking at the monitor. Guys, you need to be this person. You know, when you're a first-time mom, even if you're not, you are paranoid about everything. So you want to make sure that this person's attention is on your baby, which is why you need to ask this question: how are you going to balance cleaning and looking after the baby? Then the next question is, what courses did you do, and can you take me through what it is that you did in your training, right? Also, a lot of people can just say, oh, I did CPR. If that's something that's important to you, I think it is. You need to ask when they did it, because if the person says they did it in 2005, obviously there's no way they can remember. Did I say CPU, guys? I mean CPR, yeah. They're not going to remember how to do it, right? So you're going to ask them when they did it, and then they're going to take you through what exactly is it that they did through the course, right? And you're not expecting this person, obviously things happen, a person might be in a panic, they might freak out, that's not why you're asking this question. But you'll ask, okay, then the person will say, we learned maybe how, when if a child is choking, what it is that we need to do, whatever. If they did a child stimulation course, they will tell you that. If ask them for examples, okay, if my child is 2 months, what is it that they're supposed to be doing, and how is it that you can stimulate them? So maybe they'll say at 2 months some babies should be able to maybe turn their necks. If they can't, these are some of the activities that we can do. And obviously you don't want a person that's perfect, but you are paying for this person, right? And for your peace of mind, it's helpful to ask. Okay, so you're going to ask, what courses have you done? When did you do the course? And can you take me through what exactly did they cover during the course, right? And this is also another thing that the agency will ask you. Is there something specific, or is there specific training that you would like your nanny to have? Another question is, what are your salary expectations? This obviously is negotiable. This is also stipulated in their contract. They will give a ballpark amount to say these are my expectations. One, obviously, if they it will say whether it includes traveling, one of those, but it's helpful to ask that. And what you're looking for, that you're looking for a person that's not a chancer. And this is a very awkward question, whether you are a nanny, domestic worker, whether you're a person in corporate. It's a hard question. It's a hard question to answer. But yeah, you're just seeing whether this person is honest enough to ask and say 1, 2, 3. One of the ladies, I remember, they asked me if they will, because there's obviously at the end of the thing I asked, would you do you have any questions? And she asked me, will I be getting bonuses? Because obviously at my current job, this is what I get. And it's a more than adequate question to ask, because we expect bonuses at work. So that is something that you need to consider. When it's December time, will you have money to pay this person? You have to talk about money. It's awkward both ways, but it's just something that you have to do. How do you deal with challenges? Number one, can you tell me of a challenge that you had maybe with some of the kids that you've worked with, and how did you handle those challenges, right? This question, I don't know about you, but if I want somebody to look after my child, I want somebody that's patient. I don't want someone that will just leave my child crying. I don't want someone that will force my child to eat when they don't want to eat. Do you know what I mean? Those kind of things. So you ask, a person might say, oh, I had a very difficult child, they didn't like to eat. So you need to ask them, okay, and if they say nothing, create scenarios for them. Create scenarios and say, okay, maybe what would you do if you had a difficult child and they didn't want to eat? What would you do if you have a child that doesn't want to sleep? A person that has experience, you'll hear someone might say, sometimes it's when a child doesn't want to sleep, either they're overstimulated, and I'll take them outside for a walk. Sometimes being outside, different scenery, helps the child calm down, and then they sleep. Do you get what I mean? So those are the kind of answers that you are looking for when you ask a person. I feel like you can tell, guys. You can somewhat tell if a person has actually had experience doing this, or they're just talking. And then also you want to suss out if the person is very good with taking instructions. So one question that you can ask is maybe, how did you deal with conflict with your previous employer? This question, you don't want to know what issues they had. You just want to know, how did they deal with the conflict, right? You want a person that's not going to hold grudges. You want a person, when you ask them to do something, that they need to be able to do it. And also, this is another key one for me, especially if you're black. I think sometimes you struggle. If somebody's much older than you, you will struggle to give them instructions. So I asked the agency and I said, I want a person between this and this age, but no one older than 45. Because I was just like, how am I going to tell someone that's older, do this? I'm going to be too scared, and I know myself, and I don't want that in my own house. I don't want to feel like I'm walking around eggshells. So you need to obviously be able to talk to this person, have mutual respect, but also know that you are their employer, and you should be able to ask them and give them instructions. And if you're not happy about something, you shouldn't be made to feel bad. Like if somebody's the age of your grand. Do you get what I mean? Yeah guys, so these are the questions. I hope you found them very helpful. Obviously if you have more questions you'll ask them in the interview. Yeah, I hope you guys found these helpful. If you have any more questions regarding or if you maybe have questions that you feel like I've left out and that somebody else would find helpful, please put them down in the comments below. Remember that I'll link part 2 in the description, and I'll list all the questions below. I hope you guys found this very helpful. Please share, comment, and like the video. And I think there's a lot of moms that could I don't know, yeah, there's a lot of moms that could find this video helpful, because I know I needed it. So please don't forget to share and tag them when you share. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love.